Fall sports at Gloucester High School are a staple of every school year. The 2012-2013 campaign is no different as our student athletes dedicate their sleep, social lives, and sweat for a shot at glory. We at Gloucester High School appreciate the time and effort of each one of our players and coaches day in and day out. The 2012-2013 girls volleyball team has started the season off with only one loss to Menchville in 6 district games. The team looks like it could finish within the top 3 spots, if not the top spot. Coach Wilson believes in her players and has shown that she can coach them into a winning season.
Last season went well. We ended up tied for second, or I guess you could say tied for third. We had a really good team that we built on. The whole Peninsula District has a new teams coming in, so 4 teams, and so ended up second out of 10 isn't bad. And it's growing, and Gloucester volleyball is growing, and it was a good season. What we're getting better on this season is team unity, working as a team. Because as you know, volleyball as a team, it's hard to mesh as a family and get going in volleyball, and that really makes a team. And as you guys know, the boys know, you get to fighting if you don't mesh well, stuff like that. And that's what I think every team needs to work on is meshing. And having a bunch of girls, it's really hard to mesh. Teams that have come on, and since it's just starting, it's they're working on it. The competition's not bad, but you got Menchville, Warwick, and Kecoughtan, although they're new to it, they have club players, so you know, it's kind of, and we sit right in the middle of it. Yeah, we have our good days, we have our bad days, but the competition's kind of equal. We have some that we know we can beat and some that we want to beat, and it's getting better. It's a growing program and it's getting better. I have Big Mac, who's in the middle, Michaela. She's, I think she'll be a senior next year, and she's a middle. She's going to club, and she's going to be a one to watch. Also, my 2 to watch that are sophomores are Victoria Wilson and Jess Haley. They're amazing players. They're all-around players. They serve, they hit, they set, they talk, they're good, they're uplifting. And then I have a little freshman, Blair South. Amazing, natural. She went on the internet, said I want to play volleyball, and she's done it for me all summer and now. And so they're the players that are the upcomers that they're going to be it. All right, the biggest challenges this year kind of goes back a couple questions ago when you asked about what was going on, team unity and stuff like that. This has been the first year that really I've really had an issue with the team unity, and that's our biggest hurdle. Is you kind of have with girls, you get a click here and you get a click there, and I need to get it all together, and that is our biggest thing, and just meshing well. Like I said before, that cohesiveness, and that and attitudes. You know, I think in every sport with girls especially is attitudes, and so we gotta work on attitudes and working as a family, and then once I guess we get rid of the attitudes, it'll probably be more of a family, and that's my biggest hurdle. That's been the one so far.
We commend the girls' team for their success so far this season and wish them the best in all their remaining games. Field hockey has become one of the premier sports here at GHS. The girls' continuing success through the years has earned them a respectable reputation in our district. The defending district champions are one of the best GHS has seen in years.
We had a great year last year. We finished 16-2. We were undefeated in the regular season, won our district playoff game. We got beaten in the regionals by Cox High School, who was eventually a state runner-up. But we had a good year. I think basically in field hockey you need to improve every game you play. You have to improve on vision on the field, stick work. Every field you play on is a little different. Sometimes we play on grass, sometimes we play on turf, sometimes AstroTurf, sometimes cow pasture. So it's adapting your game to what you play on. So you really have to adjust and continually work on stick skills and communication in field hockey. And I think we have to work on that every game we play. We're off to a good start. We're 6-1 right now. We got beat by defending state champion First Colonial down at the beach. They're a great team, but I've got some great girls that played with me in the past, and we have 3 freshmen on our team that contribute a lot this year. So I'm very optimistic about this year and how we finish. So looking forward to it. But we also have an undefeated JV team, which I don't even believe they've been scored on yet. They're an awesome group. The problem is going to be fitting everybody in the next 2 years because we have a lot of girls, and it's going to be tough fitting everybody on varsity JV teams. Plus we've got a lot of great 8th graders coming up from what I understand. So things look promising the next couple of years, and the hardest part's going to be trying to get them all on the same team. But I look forward to that. It's a good challenge.
We wish the girls nothing less than another winning season. Around Gloucester County, the football games are the place to be on Friday night. And while our team may not have an undefeated record, the boys of the GHS varsity football team have worked very hard through this season and are optimistic about the last games of the 2012-2013 football season. Earlier this season, we spoke to former head varsity coach Merchant.
It's been probably one of the most injury-laden seasons I've ever coached. It's been very difficult. We've had kids just getting hurt, and it happens. It's a violent game. But we've just seemed to have been bitten by that injury bug a little bit more often than is typical, of course. It's created some problems. You know, that means a lot of other kids have to take up that slack, puts more pressure on them. It's a higher workload on them, on our second team guys, even some first team guys that now have to maybe take on some other jobs, playing both ways, more people playing both ways with less substitutions. And then that just takes an overall toll on the team as a whole. So that's one of the reasons that we've struggled this year so far. And it's created problems with our timing and our execution. And you know, it's like a total package here. So we've struggled against some good football teams, I'll grant you that, and not taking anything away from our opponents. We played 3 pretty good football teams. But we haven't given them a full game. In any one of those 3 teams, we really weren't able to give them a full game. We did some good things, but and if we can get everybody back and together and get a chance to actually play and practice as an entire unit here, you know, we can definitely go out and, you know, end this season on a much higher note. One player would be Jarrell Bennett. Wears number 49. He's a big guy. He's about 6'1", 260. He plays offensively. He plays a little fullback for us from time to time. He plays a little of the halfback position or tight end position. In pro football, it's called an H-back position for us. And he's also a defensive tackle. He's a senior. He's a prospect for college scouts. He's already gotten some interest. You know, Norfolk State's very interested in him. He's invited him to visit. And there are others who have expressed interest and are keeping an eye on him, looking at some film during the season. And, you know, they're going to check in with us as soon as the season's over. And I think he'll have the way he's playing very well right now. And he is playing both ways. He's one of those guys that he's had a little bit of an injury that's kind of nagging, but he can play with it. He's played through it, and he's played well. You know, he's really had some great performances and has really kept our defense, you know, in the game, you know, for a lot of points of the game with his play this year. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Well, we know we've got a lot of juniors this year. So there's a lot of guys that'll be here next year. I think that could be star players in a lot of positions. I think that James Scott right now, who is playing quarterback now, who's originally a halfback and a safety and a part-time quarterback in certain situations, is now the full-time guy at safety and at quarterback. But he's doing a good job. I mean, he rushed for over 100 yards in last week's game. You know, I know it was a loss, it was one-sided, but he had a very good game. Not a bad give up 50% passing, you know. We struggled, you know, it was kind of hit or miss. We'd have a good play, we'd have a bad play. James made a lot of those plays. He's a good athlete, so he's made some good athletic plays, you know, where we've had some breakdowns. He's only a junior, but he's got good athletic ability, size, all those tools that colleges look for. So he is getting some interest as well. And some guys are saying, well, we're going to keep an eye on him.
We wish the best of luck to our teams as they finish their season and hopefully move on to playoffs and tournaments. Be sure and check out the second part of Fall Sports, where we cover boys volleyball, cheerleading, and JV football.